with good service levels on tubes, buses and trains. But we do ask that you please still travel at the quiet times, if you can, to help with social distancing. We're doing all we can to keep things safe, clean and organised. After all, we're here for all Londoners. To find out more, search TfL Restart Plan. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
What would the world be like if we listened more? At Honda, our ears are always open to new ideas. Oh, there's one now, knocking on our eardrum. What's that? What if we made a car with cameras instead of wing mirrors? A robot mower that knows when it's time to cut the grass. A self-balancing motorcycle. And what if by 2022, all of our mainstream cars were hybrid or electric? Great idea. Thanks, Ears. Honda, the power of dreams.
COVID-19 continues to impact our lives, but with filtering face masks and washable, reusable face coverings from trustedppe.co.uk, you can help protect yourself and others from the virus. Order before 4 p.m. weekdays for same-day dispatch from trustedppe.co.uk. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
How do we control coronavirus now? Listen to Steph. She's a bus driver.
Now that people are using public transport again, we really need to make sure that we keep each other safe. Passengers need to stay 2 meters apart. If that's not possible, make it at least 1 meter. I want to see everyone wearing face coverings over their mouth and nose unless you've got a good reason not to. And when you get to where you're going, you need to wash your hands. We've still got to play our part.
Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
Jobs for Bridge. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850. This is LBC.
Bank holiday Monday, the weather's terrible, it's freezing cold, and you can finally go out to that restaurant though to take advantage of the final night of the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. Peter says, Tom, this should be extended because it overwhelmingly has been a roaring success. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, traditionally the quietest of the week for the hospitality sector, therefore they were the right days of the week to operate this. Because it's cheap for the government to borrow money, then that gives more credence to the fact that it should be continued. It does not include alcohol though. Yeah, I know, a bit disappointing, isn't it? But I think the government would have backed a winner if they had included the very first alcoholic drink only with the meal. They would have been queuing round the block if that had happened. It would have been a real shot in the arm for the vast majority of restaurants. Many of these restaurants are going to be taking on their own backs themselves, albeit temporarily, to extend it in an attempt to boost business. And that is a measure of the success of the scheme, says Peter. You're right, it's also, I think, to be honest, a bit of a measure of how much money these restaurants were making off the back of those food prices anyway, given that if they can cut 50% off it, they're still making enough money. Might be a reason as to why you might have been overcharged in the first place. But if it's an Eat Out to Help Out scheme for the restaurants, I wonder if there's an equivalent for other sectors of the economy. And whether or not this government intervention, so-called nanny state, that Boris Johnson has apparently been opposed to before, but he's looking to ramp up in areas like your own personal health, the TV ads that are going to be hidden behind a watershed for those fast food in order to make people eat a bit more healthily and therefore prevent them from the worst effects of coronavirus. Whether you were being opposed to those kinds of measures because it's too nanny, it's too much government intervention, actually on the back of schemes like Eat Out to Help Out, or indeed the kind of thing that Boris Johnson is talking about when it comes to obesity, you think, yeah, okay, give it a go. Let's see what the government can do to try and nudge people's behaviours to have a positive overall impact on the country. 0345 6060 973 comes your calls in just a moment. 6:37. Let's look at what Elon Musk has just unveiled, because her name's Gertrude and she's a pig with a coin-sized computer chip in her brain to demonstrate what are his ambitious plans to create a working brain-to-machine interface. Here's a little of how Musk actually explained this latest idea.
Richard, thanks for coming out. So the beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the neural link in Gertrude's head. So this neural link connects to neurons that are in her snout. So whenever she snuffles around and touches something with her snout, that sends out neural spikes, which are detected here.
That's either Gertrude or an absolute banger. Christina Farr is health and technology reporter for CNBC and joins us from Silicon Valley in California. Thank you for being there for us, Christina. What is he hoping to achieve, Elon Musk, by doing this?
So Elon Musk has got this vision for a brain implant technology, and really he sees the possibilities as endless. It's about, arming the human race in this future in which artificial intelligence is, either our sort of ally or our overlord, and he wants to put essentially this technology in our brain to be able to do everything from, cure blindness to play a symphony in your head. So Elon has talked about lots of different applications for this, and I think on Friday with this live demo, a lot of journalists and people following kind of everything that Musk is doing were hoping for more specifics on how long this is going to take, is it safe, will there be any kind of clinical trial, and is this even real? So, I tuned into that event myself and was left with more questions than answers.
He says it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. I'm not sure he's saying it well.
I don't know how appealing that sounds.
Quite.
Well, Elon, so he's gone sort of back and forth as he's been talking about Neuralink in the past, couple months, even years. So thinking through kind of what does this look like as a mainstream consumer device, and he talks about the Fitbit in your brain or in your skull, but then he's also talked about lots of medical applications. And I think on the medical side, this is a realm of neuroscience that lots of labs around the world have been focused on, because there is, really strong potential here to help people with paralysis and blindness and deafness. But Musk hasn't, while he sort of dabbles in talking about that as a potential role for this, he's never really committed to it, and he didn't share what kind of, say, clinical studies, medical studies that he would be doing to sort of move in that direction. And he seemed to sort of gravitate between, whether this is going to be something for consumers or for the medical realm.
The long-suffering but thankfully ever-growing listeners to my late-night program know that I'm completely fascinated by this stuff. The idea that we can explore other planets and find exoplanets many, many millions of light years away, yet have no idea how a thought is created, is fascinating. And this is what Elon Musk calls, or his idea to sort of usher in this age of superhuman cognition, to combat artificial intelligence, which could become so powerful that he says it could destroy the human race, that we need to have a much better understanding of ourselves and how our brains and minds work in order to tackle the challenges in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
I agree with you. I mean, one of the things I've been humbled by as a health and science reporter is just how little we know about the brain.
Yeah.
We haven't really made meaningful advances when it comes to, conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. It's extremely hard to get any kind of therapy approved for conditions like this, just because we don't really know. Like, we don't understand the brain as well as, you would think for the time that we're living in. So I think it is really fascinating, like you said, that Elon is interested in this area of neuroscience, but he tends to sort of take this very audacious tone with everything he does, and I do think that at some point down the line he may be humbled by this, because I know he's done self-driving cars and all kinds of futuristic things, but the brain may be the biggest challenge yet.
And because it's Elon Musk, it tends to get more attention because of who he is and his sort of persona and the company, SpaceX, Tesla, all that kind of stuff. But presumably there are lots of other companies and players involved in this field that are trying to do as exciting and remarkable and completely crazy things.
Absolutely. Like I said, there's labs everywhere sort of looking at especially the medical uses for this. And, I've talked to a number of different neuroscientists who told me that, we could be 5 or 10 years out from making some kind of meaningful progress to help people with, say, spinal cord conditions or conditions like locked-in syndrome, which is just, I think, absolutely terrifying. The idea